The State of the State is tomorrow, with Governor Gretchen Whitmer set to lay out her legislative priorities. As the State House sits at an even split, 54 apiece, it's unclear how many bills will become law before the special election in April. But Fox 17's Sam Lanstra has the story of the Drive Safe bills stuck in lawmaking purgatory and looking for a shout out.
Yeah, for the past 8 months, the Drive Safe legislation has awaited a hearing. The bills, in short, would permit the Secretary of State's office to provide driver's licenses to people who are undocumented, as long as they can pass a driver's test. Hoping to accelerate this process, a Kent County commissioner wrote an open letter calling on state Democrats to pass the bills into law.
There's no excuse for it to not happen here.
Driver's licenses for all, regardless of immigration status.
There are various states throughout the country who have already passed this type of legislation.
And for 2 decades, Michigan allowed the same, until the state's attorney general reversed that reality in 2008.
This is a state-level policy that we can change. It would not change our immigration system. It would just make it easier for those who are already here to live their lives, to contribute to our society, to our economy.
Ivan Diaz and the 8 other Kent County commissioners who signed his open letter say there are many who have been living in the shadows.
You know, we've been told about situations where somebody was unfortunately the victim of a crime, and their family were immigrants and didn't have licenses to transport that person to the hospital.
It was a total avoidable tragedy.
A sponsor of one of the bills, Representative Rachel Hood, says the package isn't a political issue, but an economic one.
We have to figure this out. We have to give people the ability to get to work, to raise their kids. They deserve to drive in our community safely and to be appropriately documented.
In Kent County, immigrants account for 9% of the population and contribute $5 billion to the total GDP, paying $174 million in state and local taxes.
Let me be clear. I greatly appreciate those who want to be in the United States, and I want them to be in the United States, but they need to walk through the right doors.
In opposition to the bills, State Rep. Luke Meerman says they incentivize illegal immigration and risk voter fraud.
If that driver's license doesn't designate it as anything unique outside of the one I have as a citizen, then that is an allowable form of ID at the polling station.
But Rep. Hood says that wouldn't happen because by 2025, Michigan driver's licenses will have real IDs denoting citizenship status.
And I know that it is something that we will prioritize in the following months.
As for why her party hasn't passed the package already, she said,
"We know that our actions have reactions, and sadly, in this environment, some of those reactions are dangerous for some of the very individuals we are trying to elevate, so we are proceeding with caution."
Whether the legislation is mentioned during the State of the State, Diaz says he'll be watching.
I think Latinos are realizing that we can't keep getting taken advantage of by any party. And so we're paying attention this year to who fights for us and who doesn't, who just talks when it's time to get elected and who doesn't do anything.
Now, in connection to the open letter, Kent County released a statement saying the board has not considered, deliberated, endorsed, or passed any resolution supporting or opposing the Drive Safe legislation. Now, last week, Fox 17 reached out to the governor and the House Speaker. Neither of their offices commented on whether they would publicly call for this package of bills to be passed. For now in studio, Sam Lanstra, Fox 17 News.